Hello, everyone. I hope you're enjoying those absolutely gorgeous fall days. I have some time for self-reflection this morning, and I wanted to share how I mentally reset in the last week. So, for those of you who have been with us, you might have observed that we've grown a lot, right? Pros and Babes has grown so much in the last few months, and it's scary. Growth is scary, it's exciting, it's tiring. And it's forced me to slow down at some point, especially in September now, and to reset after this period of explosive growth. I reached out to many of my mentors to understand what was going on inside of my mind and my heart. On the one hand, there were all these positive things going on. On the other hand, I felt really exhausted. So I decided to delay some activities that I had planned and use the month of September to reset, really prioritize going on walks in the morning, going out with my kids. There are some things that had to fall through the cracks, but that was first. Health was my priority. And I'm so glad that I enjoyed the beautiful fall colors and some time for active walking meditation, really not sitting down meditation, but active walking meditation. And I wanted to share a few key points on how to reset when you've experienced really fast growth. So first of all, giving yourself some time and space to grow. Two, carving out at least one day. If you're a mom, put it in your calendar, ask dad to get out with the kids, trust that he'll do it, leave the dirty dishes in the sink, and make sure to binge watch some inspiration from your favorite mentors. So in the last few days, I've had the chance to hang out in a community with Gary Vaynerchuk and Damon John and Kelly Roach and some amazing entrepreneurs from all over the world who are speaking how they got where they got to. And that was an amazing mental reset for me. And then it reminded me what gratitude really is, right? Like I've experienced such tremendous growth in the last 6 months in the pandemic. Everywhere on social media, I've been seeing people saying how 2020 has been terrible. It has, but I know that my family, we made the complete best out of it. I grew my team, I grew my business, I grew in love with my partner, and it was because of intentionality. It was because I decided to invest when fear was everywhere. I decided to invest and bet on myself and to stick to my values, right? Doesn't mean I'm always doing it perfectly. You can probably see there is tiredness in this mom's face. I don't always sleep all the hours I want to, but I surrounded myself with amazing, amazing mentors. And today I see that the things that are my vision board that I put in September are true. Like I have a team. I didn't even know that I would have a team of 5, 6 helping me out, right? I put it there as an intention, and that's exactly what came into my life. I attracted those people, right? So it started with intention. I grew so fast. Then I got really tired from all that growth. It was really scary, and I had to reset. So one of the things I did in the last 2-3 days was attend a conference with world-class thought leaders who just blew my mind, really blew my mind. So one of the tips I have for you as you're entering the last quarter of 2020, really of the year, not the business planning quarters, but 2020, the last 3 months, October, November, December, take some time to binge watch on inspiration. Cut the negativity out of your life. Cut out the messaging and the people who are whining and complaining, and focus on filling your brain with really positive stuff and elevate your spirit and elevate your energy and remind yourself how extremely privileged you are to be in a beautiful house with sticky fingerprints, right? A family who loves you, and that whatever pain you are receiving in your life is an opportunity to produce something beautiful. Something beautiful. Yesterday I was watching one of the talkers on the conference I attended who had ADHD in her childhood, and she became a leader of a billion-dollar product launches. What she did is she took her so-called weaknesses, whatever report she had from school saying that she's this, she's rambunctious and she's loud and she doesn't pay attention, into her superpowers. Right? She turned it into her superpowers and decided to explore and experiment in the world. And she didn't take those characteristics as a condemnation of who she was, but instead she decided to pursue her success. So it was pretty amazing to hear a story like that from an amazing woman who used her weaknesses and turned them into strengths, and highlighted the limitations of the traditional education system that does give us a solid foundation, but does not celebrate differences like that, right? So to summarize that point, the first 2 points I was talking about, giving yourself time and space to grow, even if there's uncertainty ahead. There's always uncertainty ahead for entrepreneurs, but I know I've surrounded myself with the best wealth advisors, with the best business mentors, with the best health coaches, so that I have the fuel. And even if I'm trembling, and even if I don't know if I'm going to, what exactly my next steps might be to reach my very ambitious goals, I'm surrounded by an advisory board of people who believe in me, even if sometimes I lose belief in myself, right? So please surround yourself with amazing people. Cut out the toxic energies in your life for the rest of 2020 and aim high, because your kids are watching you. That's one of the best things you can do, is be role models for them. Do a mental reset, take some time, and surround yourself with people who will fill your brain with amazing, amazing ideas and believe in you. And then one more element that I would like to highlight is allowing yourself space to grieve. So that wisdom came from more than one person. One, my therapist. I'll be doing a live with her in a couple of weeks. So we'll talk about my growth journey and how I use therapy to really grow my mind and like to make space for really positive thoughts and cheerleading in my mind. And Cy Wakeman, who talks about having a no drama culture in your company and your family, right? So she talked about, if you're stuck, allowing space for grief, and I'm experiencing grief for a few things in my life, right? Like I talked about my dad's health journey and how it's tough to see that, while giving myself space to grieve for that, right? And my therapist talked about just going on a walk and acknowledging those emotions and saying, okay, I feel anger, I feel sadness, I feel that, right? Just noticing them, because as an entrepreneur, I'm constantly forcing my mind to be really, really strong and resilient, right? And so the anger and the sadness and the grief might not necessarily be given the space it deserves, but these are important human emotions. So seeing that pop up in my experience over and over again, giving yourself space to grieve if you're stuck, right? If you're grieving things for 2020, maybe your mat leave was not what you imagined it to be, right? Maybe your work was different. Maybe your wedding didn't happen the way you planned it. Giving yourself, acknowledging those feelings, even for me, was a really big step. So the three things I talked about, resetting and after a period of massive growth. And I think the pandemic was an invitation for all of us to grow as families, as communities, as individuals. Give yourself time and space to grow. Carve it out and make it a priority. The dirty dishes in the sink can wait. Like, they really can, right? Your children need you to reflect and grow. They need your patience and resilience. And I can wear the same outfit for 5 days in a row, but I will not, let's say, deprioritize my morning walk too often. It happens, it slips through the crack. 2, carve out a day or two by the end of the year, even more if you can, and get away and just binge watch on inspiration and positive people who have amazing success stories to share. I love watching and listening to Gary Vaynerchuk in the last, the Gary V audio experience is just mind blowing. Kelly Roach is one of my business coaches. She's amazing. Chris Kenya is another one of my coaches, right? Larissa Petrini is somebody in my experience who's an age reversal expert, so dedicated to women's health. Her tips about energy and nutrition and exercise have changed my life. In 3 months, I've dropped pounds so easily because of a mindset shift, right? And just a couple of habit changes. I wasn't even intending to lose weight. I actually wanted to optimize the allocation of energy and nutrition to be a good entrepreneur. And finally, allowing yourself some space for grief, anger, sadness, and noticing those emotions and letting them be in your heart and just kind of processing them. I take tons of walks all the time in nature, and I just try to notice and accept that and not judge myself for it. So guys, rock the rest of 2020. I'm so excited for the talents you have to offer to the world. Again, surround yourself with a tribe, with a group of people who can support you, an advisory board, people who believe in you, who will elevate you and not drag you down. That is so important. You will become like the people you surround yourself with. Cheers.